Good morning. It is 6:49 a.m. on Tuesday, June 19th, 2018. I am Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, I don't often get into politics and that sort of thing on these videos. Often, mostly just because when I record them first thing in the morning, that's not always the first thing on my mind. But boy, this immigration separate family separation issue is a tough one, and it's hard not to think about it. Um, I don't think any of you who have been watching this for a while will be surprised that my position is that I'm against it. Against family separation, that is. I mean, obviously, when you're dealing with a large number of people who don't have an existing support structure within the United States, or even if they do, but just like there can be complicated aspects of doing whatever the government's going to do to help or whatever with these people, but at the same time, like, they're human beings, and uh, so like the whole argument is like, well, when people are arrested and incarcerated, they don't get to bring their kids with them. And it's like, well, so why are we arresting and incarcerating them? Well, because it's illegal to cross the border illegally. Yeah, so does that mean we need to prosecute and incarcerate every single one? It's like, well, some of them are, drug dealers and gang members and stuff. It's like, okay, but not all of them, right? So why are we incarcerating and prosecuting all of them? Especially the ones who have kids. We now have to have government employees forcibly pull their children from their grasp and take them to a detention center where they don't know where each other are. For all we know, they will never see each other again. Like, they don't seem to have. Okay, so, like, I don't need to relitigate how awful it is because I think anyone paying attention can see that. I think it's unfortunate that, I think ultimately a lot of the people defending it just really comes down to don't want those foreigners in our territory. Which, like, how do you even argue with that? But the most frustrating, I think, aspect of just the debate about it, and but I think this is an indication that there are some on the president's side who are more uncomfortable with this aspect than some of the other issues that have arisen. Because what the whataboutism is, thorough, and this idea of like, well, Obama did the same thing, so if you didn't complain then this is just about politics. And it's like, okay, a number of things. One, it's not the same at all. It's really not. And we can point to a very specific policy change implemented by the government under Trump's administration that is what has led to the spike in this happening. So, uh, and just the same, the number of deportations and some of the other things of how illegal immigrants were handled. Like, a lot of people did complain about Obama for that. They sure did. I remember having those conversations. Now, just because that was not one of the things that conservatives complained about during Obama's administration means they have short memories and forget that a lot of people did actually complain about that. A lot of people did. there was discussions about whether that hurts or helps his position in like Southwest states and Texas and stuff like that. Like, I mean, it absolutely was a thing that people talked about. But to return to the point A, it's also not the same. So, ugh, ugh. Um, it's awful. It's awful. I and I, it's one of those things where you can watch the Trump administration, uh, you know, itself be schizophrenic on the whole subject, where they can't even get their story straight about their own policy. You have alternately different people saying there is no policy. Obama did the same thing. Um, we want to stop it, but we can't because of the law, and it's the Democrats preventing us from doing that. Like, okay, there is a policy. We can actually point to the specific order in which it was implemented. B, it was not a law. This is a change in the enforcement policy of an existing law. B, how can it be the Democrats' fault when the president is the president and implemented this with a policy change instead of a law, and he has both houses of Congress and could do it? And the point ultimately of all of this, the horrible part of it, is it's all so he can get policy concessions, and yet I doubt that he would stop doing it even if he could. He didn't. He wanted to do this. He ran on this stuff. And if you didn't think that he did, well, I don't know what to tell you, because this is exactly why a lot of people said, let's not make this guy president because he is awful. Anyway, he also has a lot of awful people supporting him. I'm going to leave it there for today. Usually I don't like to get into this stuff first thing in the morning because it poisons the whole day. But again, it's hard to not think about it. Anyway, I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes. Maybe I'll be in a better mood, but I don't know. We'll see.